Futurama begins with Fry's mistake of getting frozen for 1,000 years. But he's not the only person to make a mistake.
Yahoo!
So let's look at some flubs the show's creators and animators also made. Number 1. We definitely prefer a cute dog over a rude alcoholic robot. In Saturday Morning Fun Pit, when Shaggy/Fry says,
"Search me? No, don't. I'm carrying."
there's nobody standing next to him. But in the very next shot, Amy and the gang are right there. Seems someone had a few too many Scooby snacks, or Bender snacks. Number 2, just a little Cyclops continuity lesson for you folks out there. In the Season 6 opener and the series' first revival episode, as the power builds up in Bender, his left eye pops out, making him a Cyclops, then subsequently being eaten by the Cyclops Eater. Bender comes out and has 2 eyes in the long shot, but puts his left eye back in the close-up.
Oh, sweet mercy!
Number 3. Amy is so popular she was in 2 different sororities, apparently. In the episode A Farewell to Arms, only so many people can escape to Mars, and that decision is made by a sentient box that was apparently in the same sorority as Amy.
We were in the same sorority. Accepted! Sigma Beta, see ya later!
However, in an earlier episode, Amy states that her sorority was Kappa Kappa Wong.
What sorority do you belong to?
Kappa Kappa Wong.
Come on, Amy, which is it? Number 4. Whatever that thing on Leela's wrist is, it's an important part of her character. In the first episode of Season 6, Rebirth, near the end after the real Fry comes out of the Rebirth chamber,
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was already here.
Robot Leela says that she and Robot Fry are in love and now has the real Leela's wrist device on. But she never had it on before or after that one shot. Number 5. While Bender doesn't keep track of all the women who go after him, we certainly do. In Yo Leela Leela, Bender calls Leela out for ripping off the humplings. During his epic takedown, the lipstick marks he received earlier inexplicably move around his face and multiply with very little consistency. Lucky robot. Number 6. We just wish the animators took a moment to reflect. In Irreconcilable Differences, Lur splurges on some expensive threads, and during this scene we should see a mirror image of his neck jewelry. But they seemingly forgot to do that, as we can still read it correctly even though it should be a mirror image of the big alien.
I like it.
Number 7. What's with cops and making important evidence disappear? In 300 Big Boys, Earl shows his partner some incriminating footage including Bender. When he does, Earl has his police head siren light sticking out of his head, but in the very next shot, this siren is gone.
You see that?
Grand Theft Tobacco.
Number 8. This next Futurama mistake is a bit heady. Futurama has a lot of celebrities who have their heads encapsulated in a liquid of some sort. But think about it. How can Futurama have the heads for the Head Museum since most of the preserved heads are of people who died a long time before this invention?
Appears we've changed history too much.
Probably either time travel or cloning or both are included in the show, but it seems to be more of a we did this while they were alive type of invention. Number 9. Leela's losing streak in this episode isn't the only bad streak we noticed. In A Leela of Her Own, near the end, when Leela talks to the second female Blurnsball player, her black nose stripe disappears then reappears throughout the shots of their conversation. Number 10. The judge from Futurama seems to need some aid in keeping this Band-Aid on. In Brannigan Begin Again, during the court case, the judge has a Band-Aid on her forehead. It disappears and reappears throughout the scene. Number 11. Bender assumes everyone knows who he is, and he's right, but he still needs to follow standard procedure. In War's the H Word, Bender's ID tag pinned on his chest changes position several times during the episode. In some shots, it's even gone, but we shouldn't expect a character like him to be consistent about anything. Number 12. We know it's a comedy show, but this mistake is more than just a space joke. In The Root of All Evil, the people in the asteroid belt and even the dogs flying around through the belt wear a space helmet, but on the asteroids themselves, they don't. There are no domes or any kind of equipment to say these have some kind of generated atmosphere on them, so yeah, a bit weird. Number 13. This gives a new meaning to how quickly Bender makes drinks disappear. In The Honking, when it cuts to the first shot inside the castle when everyone is sitting at the table, you see Bender sitting there with a bottle on his right side. When it cuts to a close-up of him, the bottle is gone.
Oh man, there's always a catch.
Number 14. Things just look a little different when you're falling to your demise. In Xmas Story, when Bender flies off the cliff, we see in the overhead shot that there are no kids on the icy lake, nor are there any trees near the lake. When it cuts to a closer look of the lake though, there are kids on the ice and trees surrounding it. Number 15. While there are many illogical moments in the show, this one is really quite patchy. In Bender Gets Made, the strap for Leela's eye patch on the right side of Leela's head from her perspective just goes over her ear, but the left side goes over her ponytail. This would prevent the two ends of the strap from ever meeting, and normally she dresses so well.
Does it look stupid?
No.
Number 16. This is probably the least material mayor we've ever seen on a TV show. In the episode A Piece of Garbage, the gang meets in the mayor's office to come up with a plan to stop a heaping ball of garbage from destroying the world. Why a mayor is responsible for Earth is besides the point.
You got it.
The mistake we're pointing out is that most of the objects on the mayor's desk, like the photograph and the lamp, disappear when Professor Farnsworth starts to write his plan on it. Number 17. Now Uncle Zoid is certainly dressed in bad threads, but little did you know they're also just as inconsistent as his nephew.
Okay.
The patches on Uncle Zoid's jacket sleeves appear, disappear, and change from left sleeve to right during his conversation with Zoidberg in the restaurant. Number 18. How could the animators forget such an unforgettable and beloved character? When the crew are leaving Fry's new apartment, Amy slips on the banana skin again and falls over, and for some reason Fry tries to shut the door without her leaving. He then has a full conversation with Leela. While Amy's still on the floor, maybe it was easier than drawing her getting back up.
Hey, thanks for coming.
Number 19. Seems this cute little orphan bot just can't stop editing his own work.
You flatter me, kind goon.
In Bender Gets Made, when the cops spot Bender at the oil aid stand, the letters on the stand become much bigger than in the previous shots, and the price disappears. This is easy to notice as Bender and the boy bot go into a very detailed explanation of the letters on the booth.
And write in cute backwards letters like on the sign here.
Number 20. It was their very first episode, but we're not pulling any punches.
Here's to another lousy millennium.
In the very first episode of the series, Space Pilot 3000, when Fry falls into the cryogenic chamber, his whistle drops right next to the chair. When it cuts to a different view of the scene, the whistle is completely gone. Those were some of the mistakes we noticed in Futurama. Any you noticed that we didn't mention? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe for more animated content. And thanks for watching The Things Animated.